Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into the global ocean. And we're not just talking about whales or, the sheer size of it. We're going deeper. We want to understand the microscopic engine that literally makes this planet breathable.
It's what some people call the invisible forest. It's a bit of a strange concept.
An invisible forest, what does that even mean?
We're talking about phytoplankton and cyanobacteria.
Yeah.
And the staggering fact is this. These tiny, single-celled organisms, through photosynthesis, they crank out about 50% of the oxygen in our atmosphere.
50%.
50. So you always hear about the Amazon rainforest, right? But every second breath you take, that comes from the sea.
Wow. Okay, so if half our air depends on these tiny things at the surface, that whole system has to be incredibly stable. But what happens as we move away from the sun, as we descend?
That is the critical question, because this forest, it also forms the base of almost the entire marine food web. And if we think about it like a skyscraper, that top floor, a sunlit zone, is where all that photosynthesis happens.
The epipelagic, right, where there's plenty of light.
Exactly. But the moment you drop below, say, 200 meters, you enter the twilight zone.
And photosynthesis just stops. There's not enough light.
It stops completely. And the life there has these incredible adaptations. Huge, light-gathering eyes trying to catch every last photon. But what's really fascinating is the sheer scale of migration. Every single night, billions of creatures swim up to the surface to feed and then back down into the dark to hide. It's the largest migration on Earth.
Every single day. That must connect the whole water column.
Yep.
And if we go even deeper past that, say, 1,000 meters, we're in the midnight zone.
Pitch black. And the pressure is just crushing. Life there has to make its own light. Bioluminescence.
So the famous anglerfish with its lure.
Right, but it's not just for hunting. They use it to signal mates, for communication, even as a sort of defensive burglar alarm to startle predators.
That's incredible. And even deeper, in the abyssal zone.
Near freezing, and pressures that would just flatten the car. But because it's so stable down there, evolution happens incredibly slowly. The life is, well, it's truly unique.
That stability is such a stark contrast to what's happening back at the surface, especially in the coastal areas. I'm thinking about coral reefs. They're called the rainforests of the sea, and we know they're vital.
Oh, absolutely vital. They cover less than 1% of the ocean floor, but support something like a quarter of all marine life.
25%. That's huge.
They're nurseries for fish, and they act as these natural barriers protecting coastlines from storm surges.
But they are deeply, deeply stressed. We keep seeing data on these mass coral bleaching events. What exactly is happening there? What is bleaching?
Bleaching is, it's a stress response. Corals live with this colorful algae inside them. It's a symbiosis.
Okay.
But when the water gets too warm, the coral gets stressed and literally kicks the algae out. It turns white, loses its main food source, and starts to starve.
And on top of that, there's ocean acidification.
Exactly. The ocean is absorbing so much CO2 that the water is becoming more acidic. It makes it harder for corals and shellfish to even build their skeletons in the first place.
And it's not just the chemistry, is it? It's what we're directly putting into the water. About 80% of marine pollution starts on land.
It does, which leads to things like the Great Garbage Patches. And as that plastic breaks down into microplastics, it gets into the food web at the lowest level.
And works its way right up the chain, potentially onto our own dinner plates.
Potentially, yes. Then you have overfishing, which just pulls the whole structure apart.
How does that connect back to the invisible forest you mentioned? How does fishing threaten our oxygen supply?
It's all about a trophic cascade.
Yeah.
It's a domino effect.
Yeah.
If you remove too many of the top predators, sharks, big tuna, the populations of smaller fish below them just explode.
With nothing to control them.
Nothing. So they then overgraze on the primary producers, the phytoplankton. They eat the invisible forest. And when that's gone, the whole system loses its power to make oxygen.
This all sounds pretty bleak. I mean, is there a path forward? Are we too late?
No, absolutely not. There's real hope. We've seen tremendous success with marine protected areas, or MPAs.
So like national parks for the ocean.
That's a perfect way to think about it. When we give the ocean a break, when we stop fishing and extraction, it bounces back with remarkable speed.
So the ocean can heal itself if we just give it a chance.
It is incredibly resilient. And you can help directly, too. Support international laws, cut back on single-use plastics, choose sustainable seafood. It all matters.
We are the first generation to truly understand the sheer power of this system, this microscopic life that keeps our planet running. So the thought to leave you with is this. If every second breath you take comes from that invisible forest, What are you going to do today to protect the source of your next one? Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into the global ocean. And we're not just talking about whales or, the sheer size of it. We're going deeper. We want to understand the microscopic engine that literally makes this planet breathable.
It's what some people call the invisible forest. It's a bit of a strange concept.
An invisible forest, what does that even mean?
We're talking about phytoplankton and cyanobacteria.
Yeah.
And the staggering fact is this. These tiny, single-celled organisms, through photosynthesis, they